Hello and welcome to the history of movie theaters in Manhattan for 1960 to 1969. The Bleecker Street Cinema at 144 Bleecker opens on April 4th. The Embassy Theater reopens as the New Embassy on November 7th. The Universal Theater at 91 Bowery reopens as the Music Palace Theater, showing Chinese movies. These theaters closed, including the Roxy Theater. (1961) RKO becomes RKO Stanley Warner. The Carnegie Hall Cinema at 881 7th Avenue opened on May 28. The Low 72nd Street Theater closes on January 1st. (1962) On June 27, United Artists introduces Premiere Showcase Theaters premiere movies through the region the same time as Broadway in June, starting the downfall of the Times Square moviegoing district. The Cinema 1 and 2 at 1001 3rd Avenue is opened by Rugoff and Becker Theaters on June 26. The Loews Tower East Theater at 1230 3rd Avenue opened on October 9. The Old Bijou Theater at 209 West 45th Street reopens on October 14 as the D.W. Griffith Theater. The Kips Bay Theater at 570 2nd Avenue opens on October 18. Brad Theaters opens the Essex Theater at 375 Grand on November 21. Walter Reed opens the Cornet Theater, which is built atop the Baronet Theater at 993 3rd Avenue on December 14. The Odeon Theater at 1567 Broadway becomes the Forum Theater. These theaters closed in 1962. (1963) The D.W. Griffith Theater at 209 West 45th Street is reopened by Toho Studios of Tokyo, Japan as the Toho Cinema on January 22. The new RKO 23rd Street Theater at 261 8th Avenue reopens on February 13 after a complete rebuilding. The Trans-Lux East at 969 3rd Avenue opens on April 14. Walter Reed opens the Festival Theatre at 6 West 57th Street on June 25. Walter Reed opens the 34th Street East Theatre at 241 East 34th Street on July 16. These theaters closed in 1963. (1964). The Pagoda Theatre at 11 East Broadway opens on May 29, showing movies in Chinese. The Lincoln Art Theatre at 255 West 57th Street opened on July 21. The Cinema Village at 22 East 12th Street opens on October 5. The old Trans-Lux Normandy at 110 West 57th Street reopens as the Cinema Rendezvous on October 26. The old East End Theatre at 1187 First Avenue reopens as the York Cinema in November. Here are the changes for 1964. The Fifth Avenue Playhouse and the RKO Alhambra Theaters closes. (1965).
Look out!
The Paramount Theatre reopens on December 21 for the new James Bond movie, Thunderball.
Thunderball!
The Players Theatre at 115 MacDougal Street opens as New York's premier avant-garde and experimental film showcase. The RKO 86th Street and the Trans-Lux 52nd Street theaters closes. (1966). The Metropolitan Theatre at 235 East 14th opens on August 16, showing adult movies. These theaters closed in 1966. (1967). The Hudson Theatre starts to show adult movies on March 20. The Trans-Lux 49th Street reopens as the Trans-Lux West on May 22. The 42nd Street Playhouse at 416 West 42nd Street opens on July 14, showing adult movies. The 50th Street Adult Cinema at 236 West 50th Street opens on August 11. The 42nd Street Cinema at 422 West 42nd Street opens on September 15, showing adult movies. The new Cinema Playhouse at 120 West 42nd Street opens on October 2nd, showing experimental films. The Gate Mini Cinema at 162 2nd Avenue opens. The Grand Central Theater closes. (1968). The 47th Street Playhouse Adult Cinema opens on January 19th. The Renata Playhouse at 53 East 11th Street is reopened the Evergreen Theater on May 26. The Mermaid Adult Cinema at 420 West 42nd Street opened on July 5. The Loews Cine opens atop the Loews Orpheum at 1538 3rd Avenue on July 28. The Warner Theater at 1579 Broadway reopens as the Warner Cinerama, the Penthouse, and Orleans Theater on July 30th as the first triplex cinema in New York City. The Mask Adult Cinema at 440 West 42nd Street opened or placed its first ad on November 8. The Loews State 1 at 1540 Broadway opens on December 11th, and the Loews State 2 opened on the 18th. The Jade Theater at 202 Canal opens. These theaters closed in 1968. (1969). On June 8, an grenade was thrown at the Loews Orpheum and Cine, causing damage and 3 injuries from a passing cab. A Cuban nationalist has complained about the movie, Che. The Avco Embassy East and Pacific East Theaters at 220 East 59th Street opened on March 26 as the East Side companions to the Cinerama and Penthouse Theaters at Times Square. The Andes Warhol Garrick Theater opens at 152 Bleecker in June and closed by December. The Capri Cinema at 738 8th Avenue opens in June showing adult movies. The Avon 42 at 120 West 42nd Street opens on June 19 showing adult movies. The Eros One Male Adult Cinema at 732 8th Avenue opened on June 27. Cine Malibu Adult Cinemas at 239 East 59th Street opened on July 16. The Cine Malibu at 200 West 48th Street also opened on July 16. The Park Miller Adult Cinema at 124 West 43rd Street opened on August 7. The Avon at the Love Theater at 125 West 42nd Street opens on August 13th, showing adult movies. Walter Reed opens the Ziegfeld Theater at 141 West 54th Street on December 17th. The El West Stereo Theaters opened at 723 7th Avenue and 155 West 47th Street, showing adult movies. These theaters closed in 1969. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.